Alright, welcome back. Today is the day. We're going to finally break down this 3-toed box turtle terrarium and get it set up in something a little bit taller. I really like the way that this turned out, but ultimately the tank is just too low profile for me. I want the ability to get some bigger plants in there and give a much bigger, brighter presentation. So we're going to go ahead and move him over to this 30-gallon aquarium, and obviously it won't be filled with water. However, the box turtle does like a decent sized water dish and will spend most of his time in there. So we need a setup that provides plenty of water space, plenty of terrestrial plants, and just some room where he can root around. Nice thick vegetation. Box turtles don't like to be seen, they like to be hidden and undercover. So let's do something really naturalistic and have some fun with it. Alright, here we go. We have all the plants removed from the old terrarium and the soil. And the reason that I want to reuse that soil is because it has all the springtails and isopods in it that are very important to keeping the terrarium bioactive. That's going to be my cleanup crew. I won't have to remove any of the turtle's feces. He can just live in the tank, naturally do his thing, and then the cleanup crew can do their thing. And then we have the plants along with all of that, and they suck up all the nitrates and ammonia and all that stuff from the soil. So it becomes a really balanced ecosystem. I want to take this time to introduce to you guys Phoenix, the 2-year-old male 3-toed box turtle. You can see on his back feet here he's got 3 big claws, and these box turtles stay fairly small, so he's not going to get as big as an eastern box turtle. However, he is going to get a little bit bigger than this, so maybe about a ½ inch wider and maybe an inch longer. These are one of the easiest box turtle species to keep. However, they do require a lot, so I wouldn't say it's a beginner pet. You've got to have the correct UV lighting, you have to have a heat lamp, you have to have a balanced diet for these guys. For the first couple years of his life, all he had was insects, and that's pretty normal, but now he's on to other fruits and veggies. And the story behind this little guy is I actually rescued him from a friend's friend who got it for their daughter, and she was pretty young and they didn't quite know what they were doing. I'm not sure if they found the turtle or if they bought it. I'm not sure if you can buy these here in South Carolina. Anyways, yeah, he was just in poor conditions, so she hit me up. She was like, hey, do you want this turtle? And I thought it was going to be an aquatic turtle, and when I saw it I was like, oh yes, box turtle, that would be awesome. So he's been with me for a while. He's doing really good. He's grown a lot. He's a lot more active, and he just needs a bigger, better enclosure. Let's do it up for him. All right, so now that we have a good amount of soil in there, I'm gonna go ahead and place the water dish and get the canna lily in there. It's gonna be the tallest plant. And before I add too much other soil, which I have the option to do, I haven't put it in yet. I'll probably just use it in and around the cave that I'm gonna build for him. But yeah, I'm gonna get that canna lily in the back left corner, get that straightened away, because I know I want that to basically like droop up over the little water area. So we'll go ahead and do that, and then I've got to make a custom piece of driftwood, something that I found and it has been drying out. It's a little bit too big for this tank, but basically I want it to like branch from the corner all the way up into the empty space. Hopefully some of these plants like the pothos and the vines will sort of like tangle up over those and give it like a really, really cool look. I want to go ahead and remove the soil that they came in just because there could be chemical fertilizer. So I'm going to go ahead and clean off all the soil here best I can. You can see it's really root bound in that little cup. And then we'll go ahead and rinse off all the roots. Alright, so I've decided to scratch the idea of the log for right now. It just really isn't looking good to me, so let's go ahead and get some of the hardscaping in, some of the rocks. We're going to try to basically construct a cave. Box turtles are going to bury wherever they want, but if I can encourage him to do it in one spot, he'll sort of make that his little nest, his little burrow. So let's go ahead and get some structure in there and then play around with some more plants and maybe some wood. Okay, so I think I've got the basic construction of the base of the cave, and what I'm going to do now is clean off another plant and get it in that back corner. Just before I start putting in too many rocks, it'll make it difficult to plant, so I've got some really nice ferns that I want to get in, and want to start adding in some of the old plants too. Okay, so this is called a Maria arrowhead plant, and I think it's going to go in the back right corner because it's my second biggest plant. And then I'll use the ferns to sort of go on either side of the cave here. And like I said, cave is not done, just got the basic bottom structure complete. I'm gonna plant around it and then start to add things as I go. So digging a nice hole in the back here. Real nice root system on this plant. Beautiful. So just getting it tucked in nice and good. You don't want to plant these above the stalk level. It will risk rotting the plant out, so you just want the roots covered and to the base of the stalk or stem. Alright, it's looking pretty good in that back corner. Okay, so overall I'm liking the look of this so far. It's pretty bare, but we have our 4 main plants in there, and then the rest of this low growing ivy. I envision it just sort of taking it over, like as if it was carpeting the whole bottom. So the whole point is to keep this nice and lush so the turtle feels safe. And I think I'm going to spend a bit of time now building up the cave. Just is the basic hole and roof right now, nothing more than that. So I'm going to add a few more rocks in to make it look more aesthetically pleasing. Okay, I'm really liking that so far. So the other additional rocks really locked everything into place, and now we can just kind of build everything off of that. I'm going to get a few more plants in here and then play around with some stick features. Alright, so a lot of switching things back and forth, but I'm pretty sure I've got it how I want it. It's looking really good. I'm going to take this sprayer here and just clean everything off and water all the plants in. So there's going to be a lot of material that I did not use here. I found it was actually really hard to use these big existing vines to recreate that sort of carpet matting that I'm going for. So what I ended up doing was just cutting them into their own little shoots and planting those. So you do see a lot of bare space, but within a few weeks, that's all going to be filled in pretty nicely. All right, let's get this thing washed up and rinsed off and watered in. We'll go ahead and fill up the little pond and we will introduce Phoenix. All right, so we're going to go ahead and fill up the little pond with some natural spring water. And then we're going to get all cleaned up and get out the better camera and release the turtle. Alright, so there we have it, the new 3-toed box turtle terrarium, and it looks like Phoenix is really loving his new home. It took him a minute to actually explore the cave. He kept trying to climb on top and started knocking stuff over, but hey, it's his tank. He's going to make it how he wants to. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was a lot of fun. Love animals, I love terrariums, I love nature, so just exploring different little projects has been pretty fun. There's going to be a lot more videos to come, so keep checking back. Alright, catch you next time.